Hey up pond lovers, yeah, so today is the big day. We are going to get the pump out of here and get it on the new grow on. I've got two pumps that I've kindly borrowed. I've got an 8,000 litre one as a temporary for this, or a 2,000 litre one. Yes, they are a bit different, but the 8,000 litre one that I've borrowed I'm not sure is going to be quite suitable. I don't think 2,000 litres is going to be enough flow, but I don't think the 8,000 litre one is going to be quite suitable. So first things first, I'm going to get a little bit of water drained off this because it is quite close to the top, and these, I can't really call them fry anymore, but these fish in here get very, very active when I lift the lid up, and we don't want anyone falling out of the pond. So I'm going to get this drained and then we'll get the lid off and we'll have a look. Alright, so I've drained about 3 inches of water. You can see where the water line was and where it is now. But yeah, they're all a bit spooked at the minute because this is the first time the cover's been off for quite a while because of the heron. But I haven't seen the heron now for quite a while, probably about 3 weeks, so fingers crossed. The little babies from Peterborough Koi, they're all still in there swimming around. It's a bit murky because of the amount of food they're eating at the minute. But I don't know if you can see it, but there's one down there under and behind the pipe. In fact, no, there's two down there behind the pipe. But yeah, they're still in there. They haven't actually been eaten. I have seen all 5 of them, so that's a bonus. But the pipe with the pump on it is that one there. So I want to get that out and stick the new pump on it. But as you can see now, all the filtration in its glory. Obviously that's my upflow trickle box, my Bakki shower, my mini pressure filter, my giant pressure filter behind the barbecue, giant pressure filter, same height as the pond, big old thing. And I've also got, for those of you that can remember way back when, under there, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but there's water flowing just there, and that's an aquarium filter with a pump surge on it, and you can see it going fast and then slow, fast and slow, fast and slow. And that's because I put that on it. That is full of my Biohome Ultra, and that's really good obviously for full cycles and whatnot. But yeah, they are all in there. They're just hiding because they're like, daylight, what's that? Ah, because the underneath of this cover is an absolute state. But as I've said, I've left it like that on purpose so the heron can't see through it, because it's quite a clear sheet normally. But yeah, they're all living in there quite happily. So I'll get the pump out, swap it over, and snap back to you. So these are the two options I've got. As I say, I've got this 8,000 litre pump that was lent to me by Darren, and I've got this little Laguna 2,000 litre pump that was lent to me by Jamie. Not me, different Jamie. But yeah, this one's already got a plug on, bonus, but this one importantly has a cage that the fish can't get into. Whereas this one, let's pop this down for a second, obviously has no cage for the water inlet, and some of the little fishes in here could quite easily work their way up into there, and we don't want none of that. So yeah, I think my best option would be to go for the smaller pump, and then we won't lose any fish in the pump. I get the pump out of there and stick the new one on. So the old pump's now off. As you can see, the flow is fully stopped. But we do have the aquarium pump still pumping water, and the air's still on, but this should only take me 5 minutes. So I'll get the pump out and we'll have a look at it. So there it is, the Vary pump. Just cleaning my hands with my fish towel, as you can see from blue treatments on it. But yeah, I will check to see if that basket will fit on this 8,000 litre pump, and if it does we might go with that one, but if it doesn't then we'll stick with the 2,000 one. Yeah, although I could probably bastardise this in some way or another and maybe cable tie that onto there, it's not a great fit, and there is quite big gaps around it, especially on this side. I don't know how well you can see that, and I think some of them new little fishes I've put in the pond will fit in there. So yeah, thank you Darren, but yeah, it's without a basket for my little fishies it's no good, unfortunately. So Yep, back to the 2001. Okay, so I'm now up to about plan F, because nothing seems to be going right, as always, with my things. But yeah, let me spin you around and show you my issue. So that's the pipe that's connected up to the first filter coming out of the pump, which is the big pressure filter down there, and that is the smallest pipe that will fit on that pressure filter, and I think it's 1.5 inches looking at it. The issue with the 2,000 litre an hour pump is this little thing here is only 1 inch, and this little clippy majigger here even that is only 1 inch, and there's no threads or anything on it to screw anything bigger to it. And I've also checked inside as well, and there's still no threads or anything to clip anything bigger to it. So that isn't going to work. That is my old pump that failed and stopped working and just trips everything out and doesn't actually pump anyway. So that came out of this basket. Now, I dove into the back of the shed to find this because I knew I kept it, even though it don't work. But yeah, this might be plan F. I've tried lots of different things, but obviously there is another hole to this basket, because obviously that had 2 exits. Where are we? Around this side. So there is another hole there, so I would need to block that up, because unfortunately that pump doesn't fit in that basket. But this side is very secure in there and not enough gaps for fish to get in. The holes in there are too small for fish to get in. Obviously it's just that hole there. So I'm going to find something to block up that hole and then try this. So we're back to the 8,000 litre an hour pump with a giant basket on the end of it. Bear in mind, guys, this is literally going to be temporary for a few weeks while I set up the new pond and get these guys sorted. But they've stopped being spooked now with everything that's going on. As you can see, all up looking for food. Needed some hot water to get that off there. I've lost my rubber gasket in there, but that's really hot at the minute. But yeah, so I am going to find something to block that off with and then try this. Snap back to you in a bizzle. Well, how about a flower pot? I've got to slit the flower pot and squash it in. Now it can't fall in that way, but it could fall out this way with a bit of force, so I might just, once it's cleaned, because obviously this needs a damn good clean before I drop this in the pond, but once it's cleaned I might stick that somehow to there, because them holes in there are pretty much no bigger than the holes in there. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going for. It's literally just the bottom of a flower pot. That'll do. Well, it's been scrubbed, bleached and then boiled. Rinsed it off with a boiling hot kettle, so that's going to be nice and clean. I'm just going to give that a quick clean as well, just to be sure, because obviously I've got a lot of fish in here and I don't want any issues. So I'm going to give the pump a quick clean and then we're going to try and set this up. Tell you what, guys, after all this pump better blooming work. But yeah, what I've done, I've turned the flower pot around so it now can't be pushed or pulled either way. That is well and truly jammed in there, so I've not used any glue or anything like that. But yeah, I think that will work an absolute treat. And yeah, so I'm quite happy with that. That's quite secure on there. It does wobble, but it can't fall off, and there's not a big enough gap for any fish to get out. I don't think any fishes are going to fit through any of the holes, even the new baby ones. So I think we're good to pop the pipe on, drop it in, put a plug on the end of it and pray it works. Snap back to you in a bizzle. Alright guys, so the makeshift pump is now in the pond. You can just about see the bastardised basket sitting down there. So as I say, this doesn't need to be anything special. It literally just needs to keep the filters flowing so the bacteria can stay alive while I finish off the grow on. So, moment of truth. The plug is on the end of the cable. I'm going to go plug it in and see if it works. Right guys, you can let me know if you see any water coming out of the pump. Excuse the giant spot on my nose. Plug. On the plug socket. Fingers bloody fixed. We are plugged in. And I don't hear them. I don't see them. Oh my god. So I'm done. Okay, well, it's plugged in and it's turned on. Right, take two. I've just put a different brand new plug on it rather than the second-hand old one off the old pump. So take two. Let's get it back in the pond and find out if it works. Stage one, pump in the pond. I hear water. I can hear water. And the other one's going as well. I was panicking there for a minute. Why is it a 5-minute job never takes 5 minutes? 2 hours. But, yeah, hopefully that'll clear the pond back up a bit. There's lots of particles floating around in there now after all that. But, yeah, fingers crossed the basket stays on the pump and we're all good, but that is only temporary for a week or two while I can now get the Easy Pod pumped up to the EA 10,000 vari pump. That will do nicely. Yeah, now the pumps are back up and running and the fish are starting to calm down a bit. I'm going to see if they would like some dinner. Yeah, I think they're happy enough. That pump's got pretty much a similar flow to how I had 10,000 vari pump set up to, so that's pretty good. Yeah, as a temporary solution, that will do the job, hopefully. Yeah, so when I initially set out to start this video, it was going to be a 1 minute, 2 minute clip on here and then get the other pond set up. Unfortunately, because of the time now, I ain't going to be able to do it today because as you can probably tell, it's getting a bit dark out here, so that will have to be on another video. So thanks all for watching, like the video if you haven't already, and we'll catch you all on the next one.